There's my Night Rider car. Got it out. I know it's only January, but I figured it's okay. It's nice. It's not too cold today. Drive it around. Alright, so I got some blackouts back in stock. I ordered a few of them, and I ordered more of these for the season 1 bumpers. I needed one for my car because the one I got I chipped up, and I needed one for another bumper that I got to ship out. And I'm going to be trying to pop this bumper out today. Left it 5 days. Should be ready to be popped. It's a little bit cooler, that's why I want to leave them in a little longer than when it's in the summer. Because in the winter it's a lot colder, and you know it's going to take a little bit more time for this to cure properly. Alright, and here's a going that I'm going to be shipping out to a customer. This guy had ordered a rear bumper last year, I think in the summertime, and by the time I had getting around to making the part was I don't know, like 8 weeks later. He had already I guess painted the car or whatever, so he told me he wanted something, a dash or something, so he ended up deciding to get a Gull Wing instead. So it's about the same price as what he paid for the bumper. So I don't have an adapter. I thought I did, but I'll have to order you one. I'll ship that in a separate box, but this is the out of mold Gull Wing. I was keeping it for my car, but I could always get another one, so no big deal. My car is actually not ready for the dash anyway, so had this one in stock. It's been sitting on the shelf for quite some time, but nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly in good condition. All you have to do is sand it down, and make sure you primer this with good primer. And you might want to sand this metal plate because this can rust. Sand this down and primer this as well when you're painting, and primer this both sides, okay? And yeah, scuff it down with 220 grit or 320 grit. There's a little seam line you got to sand down on the side here, and then make sure you primer this. You have to primer this because I painted one of these before. I sanded it real nice and pretty, and I went and I painted it, and the paint will not adhere too good to this surface. So make sure you primer it before you. All right, for anybody that hasn't seen my season 1 bumper with blackouts in them, this is what it looks like with the blackout there. Just you use a really strong double-sided tape, industrial strength, the one they use for body moldings, and that will never come off. And of course the turn signals go right here. Let me see if I have some so I can show you guys. Alright, here we go. I got a turn signal so it just sits right in there like that. I have it angled slightly forward, kind of pointing down a little bit, and the reason for that is because I wanted to allow the trim, this trim here, to sit on top of this top lip, so when the tape is on there, it actually gets taped to this light as well, so it'll sit up on there right over that lip perfectly, as you can see. Alright, and so when the turn signal goes on, it'll shine right through your blackout, and then you're totally legal and you got your front turn signals. What a lot of people like to do is they also like to primer the inside black. What I like to do, what I'm going to do on my personal bumper, is put some blue tape here or some yellow tape, automotive tape, and just kind of make a line here where I want the light to shine through, and then I'll turn it over and I'll primer everything except for where I put that tape, that strip of tape. I might do a section a little bit longer, a couple inches down, maybe up to about right here, so it will shine through all that. But the reason why you want to primer it, because you can faintly see through this, faintly, and sometimes when you get water, when it rains, sometimes water will work its way in there, and it will kind of, you'll be able to see like a bubble where the water's at. And so if you primer the inside, you won't see the water. It's kind of goofy, I know, but that's what you got to do just in case it rains and you don't want to see the little watermark underneath.
because once you got these on, I took mine off and you could see I had to really try to scrape it off, and I just said heck with it, I'll make a new cover because you could still see where it was, and I've already taken most of it off and you could still see that there's the tape where it was. So that's, so once you have it on, you pretty much want to keep it there. So this is the very last thing you do when installing your bumper. But anyways, back to work. All right, so I got both these cut out. All right, they fit in there like a glove. All right, sometimes I've heard people say that you want to trim it a little bit more, just in case you're live in a place where it's really hot in the summer, because this sometimes needs to expand a little bit. So what I tell my customers, you can see I left a little bit of, see, just a little movement, not very much though, but it can move just a hair, but not very much. So if you do have a problem in the future, you can always take a piece of sandpaper on a block and just sand down this line right here, just a little bit, a millimeter or two. I haven't had any problems with mine, so you can see it's pretty flush there, but it might be a little hair, there's a hair movement, just a tiny hair. So I don't want to do it too much because some people might say, oh, there's a gap, so I'll let my customers shave it down a little more if they want to. If you live in a super hot area, you know, where like in the desert or something. All right, there's another 4-season bumper right there. 2 more to go and I'm all caught up. But I gotta sand it, primer it still, but came up pretty nice. Pretty thick. See, the thickness of it's pretty nice. The mounts are pretty good. Front side looks pretty nice, nice and sturdy. All right, it's gonna be a nice one. This 4-season bumper is gonna take me probably another week because it's cold weather. I really want to wait till it's a little warmer to primer it. Same thing with that, I gotta primer that bumper and then finish off the dash. But I'm doing what I can, and I gotta make some door leads still for a couple guys. Well, actually about 4 people. So I gotta make some white rock leads and some tri leads. So, but I'll make those another video, guys. This is a quick video of me popping this bumper out. Trying to stay warm. I got the heater running. It's supposed to be really, really cold tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm gonna work tomorrow. I might have to skip tomorrow because when it gets too cold, there's no point to work out here. It's too cold to fiberglass when it's like 0 degrees outside or 10 degrees. But yeah, I'll get this sanded though. And there it is, out of mold with all the extra fiberglass trimmed off. Next step, sanding, body work. Fun stuff. I just put some wax and grease remover on it to clean it up. If there's any wax that was on it from the mold release that I used when making the part. Clean all that up, and then yeah, we'll get to sanding. Alright, real quick, back to this season 1 bumper that I've made. This has been made quite a bit a while ago, and I just been I had to wait for the covers. Well, I got the cover situated now. I sanded it on the inside because I'm going to be primering it in the inside as well. All the little imperfections have been taken out that I could find. So it's as perfect as I can get it. A little dusty because I've been sanding a little bit right now. Okay, and then here's the covers. And I did draw out a little line here. That's where the light shines through. So it's up to you if you want to tape here. What I would do is I would tape here if you're going to primer the backside. If you don't want to see through it. If you don't care if you see through it a little bit. It is pretty dark. This is a little bit darker than the other ones I had. It is kind of hard to see through it once it's on the bumper, but you might see a little bit faintly, so you can see through it a little bit. But anyways, those are the covers. Okay, one goes there, and one goes on the other side. Okay, again, if you need to sand these down a little bit more, you can. Just use, a block, one of these, some 80 grit or something. Just give it a little bit of sand if you need to. Yeah, all I gotta do now is primer it and it'll be done. I'm gonna be using some feather fill black primer. This is the next generation G2 formula polyester primer surfacer. I'll be putting 2 or 3 coats on that. It's just a little too cold right now. Temperature, I had the heater on all day and it's barely 50 in here. That's a little too cold for primer. So I'm gonna wait for the next warm day and then primer this thing and get it shipped off. I think it's going to Germany. So, oh, and don't let me forget, I got the grills over here. I got your grills 3 and 3, and I'll mount those in there before I ship it. But I'll make another video after this is primered, so this is not the last video on that. And then I'll have to finish off this bumper and primer this one up too. This is the 4th season I just popped. Okay, I just was working on it, just grinding off the little seam line here. So it's coming along, guys. Be a little patient. I'll get this stuff out. And once I get this sanded and primered, gotta make another bumper, 2 more. And yeah, I'm gonna pull this thing out, work on this. This is the 1 TV dash I gotta work on. And you can see I already glassed it, but I'm not happy with the thickness. I need to put another bit of glass in here. So I'll work on that in the next few days, because I gotta get that out of there. Harold's waiting for that. He's working on the SPM kit, doing a good job on that. So that's it for this video, guys. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I got dashes everywhere, parts everywhere, but doing the best I can in this weather. It's been quite cold lately, last couple days, and it's supposed to be colder tomorrow, but I think next week we'll have some warm days. If I have to, I'll heat up the shop to 60, 65 degrees. I could usually get it up to about 60 degrees in here if I leave it on for about 2-3 hours, and then I can primer these bumpers. Yeah, all the little imperfections smoothed over with filler, Platinum Plus filler. And yeah, it's always nice to see these bumpers get finished up, guys. I'm always happy when I'm done primering a part and wrapping it, getting it ready to ship. I'm always like, yeah, because that's just one less part that I gotta stress off of in my head, I always stress when I owe you guys parts. I don't like to keep you guys waiting too long. Talk to y'all later.